the truck at all times, as well as staying seated and in those forward positions. There are no tracks out here. This is a real truck. I am a real driver. It does get pretty bumpy. I promise I try to avoid those potholes though. My name is Jaden. I'm going to be your guide for this entire safari adventure. And we are entering the Little Ituri Forest. A lot of the animals here are very good at camouflage. They have natural or neutral color coats that allow them to blend in with almost any part of the forest that they find themselves in. Sometimes they're even called ghost animals because of how well they can hide. Over to our right hand side are our very first animals of the day. Those are the okapi. Now the okapi look like they're just rocking the most awesome zebra pants I know. But my friends, they're not actually related to the zebra at all. They're the only relative of the giraffe. I know. Somebody ought to tell them they're wearing the wrong pattern out there, but that would make them sad. Look how cute they are. We're not gonna make them sad, are we? No. Better not. Now, just like giraffe, they have ossicones on top of their head. That is just a fancy word for those two prongs on their head. They also have prehensile tongues. What that means is that they can use their tongue to grip and grasp at things. Very similar to how we might use our fingers, or if you want the less boring version of that, it's how an elephant would use their trunk. When I said the animals were here were good at camouflage, I didn't think they'd all be hiding from us today. That's okay. We'll find something. We are coming up to an area where some of them like to kind of hang out. It's like a little party zone. Alright, it looks like I did find our next animal. We're going to be up here on our right hand side is a very large black and white bird. That is a saddle-billed stork. They get their name from the yellow saddle-shaped marking on their bill. Now, instead of crowing or cawing or making any other bird noise I can think of right now, they rattle their bills in order to communicate with each other. Quick look out to your left-hand side. There are two different antelopes up there. One is a light tan antelope. That is a greater kudu. You can tell they are females because they do not have horns. And as for those reddish-brown antelope, those are bongos. They have curved horns that allow them to run through the underbrush really easily without getting tangled or caught in it. We are, however, going to start heading out of the Ituri Forest and go down towards the Safi River. Now, the cool thing about the Safi River is that the animals there are aquatic in some way, which is awesome. But that can make them a smidge harder to find every now and again, as they do like to spend their time under the water. Yes, I do try very hard not to say under the sea. But the good news is, if we keep a really good eye out, we should have some very good chances. Over here on my right hand side, you see all those large whitish gray birds. Those are pink-backed pelicans, and I know what you're thinking. Pink? Where? She's crazy. Yes, but not for that. It's actually going to be hidden under their wings, as it does tend to be more prominent during mating season, because that is like their version of blushing. And they can't just blush for anybody. No, ew. But they are some of the smaller of the 8 pelican species. However, they're by no means a small bird. Their average wingspan is anywhere between 7 and 9 feet. Yes, I'm throwing numbers at you. But if you take a look above your head, that canopy is about 9 feet wide. I don't know about y'all, but that is a lot of wing, or at least it seems like it to me. You will want to be like our friend Sam Wilson on your left. There are Nile crocodiles. Now, they are one of the few animals that continue to grow as they live, whereas we knew we're going to stop growing at a certain age. They never really stop growing. They only slow down at a certain age. They are part of the crocodilian family, along with 23 other species of crocodiles, caimans, and alligators. There's only 2 places in the world where you cannot naturally find some form of crocodilian. The first one is going to be Europe. If you're waiting for more information about that, me too. Where I was learning about crocodiles, just said no. Good take. Cool. The other area, I was actually able to guess why all on my own. Trust me, as soon as I say it's not really that impressive. It's Antarctica. It's cold. I got nothing. I do understand it though on a personal level. You see, I come from this very far off and distant land of Florida. We don't do cold there either. I promise you guys though, I am pretty sure I'm not a crocodile. I'm pretty sure. Right about here, we have made it out to where we're going to start heading out onto the savannah. That is where we're going to have a chance to see some of those more famous animals like the ones from The Lion King. If I lost your attention to the giraffe, that's fair. Now, we're going to talk about all the animals, but we're going to start with the ones that are closest to us. So as soon as we make this little turn and we come past these trees, on our right-hand side, you will see some smallish antelope. Those are springbok. Now, yes, they are adorable. They do just look like tiny Savannah s'mores. I know. They are my favorite. That's why I point them out so hard when I see them. But they are one of the top 10 fastest animals in the world. They're also incredibly agile. They can jump 6 feet straight up. That's about where your arms are. And about 14 feet straight outwards. Now, I'm not good enough for math to tell you where 14 feet away from us is, so we're just going to agree as a group into that tree and be wrong together. I did see a den up here on my left-hand side, so we're going to come up here and see if we can find any animals around that den. Hopefully we can. But if not, still plenty of other animals on our right-hand side, too. Alright, now I'm not seeing anything too much over here. Like I said, I'm not super worried though. Lots of cool animals. So if you look up to your right-hand side, you'll notice there are some grayish animals on their left and right. Those are wildebeests. Now out in the wild, they can travel in herds of anywhere up to 1 million. They can even kick up a dust storm that can be seen all the way from space. And a group of wildebeest is causing confusion. Promise I'm not ignoring the giraffe. I just haven't got there yet. Now, that giraffe is walking around in all likeliness to try to find a snack because they really do spend most of their days eating and only about 30 minutes every day sleeping. That's not even like one big power nap now. That's more like 1 or 2 minutes at a time. Now, a group of giraffe is called a tower. Pretty fitting for the tallest animals in the world. I mean, they do average at like 17 feet tall. So I get it. And we are going to come up here to these ones, get you guys a really nice, good view of them. Hopefully some pictures and all that good stuff. What you'll want to keep an eye on are those spots of theirs. They have very irregular shaped spots with no distinct shaping or pattern to them. That's how we're going to identify them as Maasai giraffe. Whereas reticulated giraffe, the other kind, have very straight edge spots, and that is just a really great and easy way to tell them apart. We'll go by nice and slowly.
He's taking that straight. Oh my goodness gracious!
Really quick, look to your left-hand side, you'll notice the animal with the very large horns. That is an Ankoli cattle. Now, they are one of 2 domesticated species that we have out here, and they are in the bovine family of buffalo and bison. These light tan antelope you see over here, there's another one up here on our left as well. Those are elands. They do something really cute during mating season. The males make themselves a flower crown to impress the girl they like. Once they do, they're gonna go, hey, I made a flower crown. Do you like it? Is it pretty? Please date me. I think that's cute. Also, one of ours wore a potted plant on his head once, so he wins at everything. On our right-hand side, a group of Hartman's mountain zebras, and a group of zebra is called a dazzle. We can tell they are Hartman's particularly though because they have very thick stripes on their back legs and no stripes on their stomachs. We're going to start coming up here towards all these fallen logs and broken trees. Do not be worried though, my friends, that is actually really great news because that means we are about to head into elephant country. And the cool thing about elephants is that they do travel a lot over very large distances, quite a few times throughout the year, and that is called migration. They do that for a lot of different reasons, some good, some bad, but it's an everyday part of their life, which is why elephants can be a little bit hard to find, and why elephant country is so large. It looks like we are quite lucky today, as I do see 2 already, but we are going to try to get you guys a slightly better view of them. Really quickly before we do that, look out to your left-hand side if you see that monkey. That, my friends, is a mandrill. Mandrills, there are several. They are the largest monkey species, and if you can't think of any famous ones, not to worry, I've got you covered. We're going to think about our friend Rafiki from The Lion King. Now, a really easy way to tell apes and monkeys apart. Apes do not have tails. Monkeys do. Simple. Now, my super safari guide senses are telling me we're going to get a really great view of those elephants on our right-hand side. By that, I mean I know there's a gap in the trees. Hey friends, we are going to want to make sure we stay seated, please, throughout the entire safari. You're all good. Now what you'll notice is that those elephants, sorry, skipping information here, those are African elephants, my friends. They're going to be most easily identified by their large ears, kind of shaped like the continent of Africa. Whereas other elephants have smaller, rounder ears, but all of them do have tusks, no matter the species or the gender. What I was going to mention, though, is going to be those patches of discoloration on their backs that we saw. You're actually going to get a quick peek of them up here on our right-hand side. That is from something they do themselves. Now, just like me and you, they have really sensitive skin, but they obviously can't just run out to the store and buy sunscreen the same way we can. They gotta be creative out here. So what they do is they'll use stuff like sand, hay, dirt, even mud to act as a barrier between them and the sun. That will prevent them from getting their version of a sunburn. It looks like the elephants we just saw had some dirt on their back. At least that's what it looked like to me. Now that we've gotten up here, we're in a red clay pit, and that is fantastic because elephants love to eat this stuff. It's super high in minerals and nutrients. You can see some of the test marks on our right-hand side where there have been elephants in the area. It could have been the ones we just saw, or there could be more. We'll just have to continue right on forward and see if we can find anything. I do believe way out there in the distance I saw at least one elephant. We're gonna start heading in that direction. I'm not sure if we'll be close enough to get to that area of elephant country. We're gonna try our very best. Alright, if you look out to your left-hand side, there's a slight possibility you'll be able to see some of the elephants that are in the distance. But what you will be able to see very well are these greater flamingos. Now, they are the lightest color flamingos, but the ones we're going to talk about are the smaller whitish brown ones. Those are the babies. We can tell because it does take them about 2 full years to get that pink coloration that they're so famously known for from the beta carotene that's in their diets. It will often be found in brine shrimp or other small creatures. And a group of flamingos is called a flamboyant. We're starting heading deeper into the savannah and have a chance to see some of those animals we have not seen just yet. Looks like we are just a smidge slower out here this morning. I assume this morning. No, it's not morning at all. It's afternoon. Alright. We're going to continue right on forward. I am hoping that the reason we're going a little bit slow out here is because there are some animals in the area very close to our ride path. Man, I'm just messing up all my words today. That's fine. Alright, if you look way out there to your right hand side, you might notice there is a white rhino. The white rhinos get their name from the Afrikaans word white. That means wide and not white because they have very wide upper lips. It's a great way to tell them apart from black rhinos. Look up here on the right hand side on the very top of this little hill here area. There are a few more. 3 from what I can see. A group of rhinos like this is called a crash. There is a gap in the trees just up here on our right hand side. What you might want to take a glance at on my left hand side, there are some cheetahs in the area. I see at least one. You're going to look out to your left a little bit further towards the fallen log. There's one laying down there. But it looks like there is one that's sitting up here. So we're going to try to head to this one. Cheetahs are the fastest animals alive. They can run from 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds flat. But their top speed is going to be way closer to 70 miles an hour. However, they don't run for very far or for very long, because while they do have the strength and power to get up to 70 miles an hour, they don't have the stamina to maintain that. So instead, they run in very quick and short bursts. Just in front of us, a large rock formation called a copie. Lots of animals like to live in, around, or near copies. Let's see what we can find.
Where is Mufasa? They're pretty lazy. They always sleep.
They sleep most of the day.
Oh, and did look out in the distance to my right hand side as we make this turn. I did see an animal you'll be pretty excited to see. Let's see if they're still close by. They are. There are 3 of them. Those are ostriches. They are the largest birds. They are flightless though, so instead of using their wings to fly, they use them to change direction while they run at their top speeds, about 45 miles an hour. There's another rhino out there with a baby, and if you look up here to your left, we did just find the king of the savannah himself. This is a male lion. Now I can identify him as male because he does have that very large mane. It can actually weigh anywhere up to 40 pounds. I don't know about y'all, but that's a lot of hair. Now, as you'll notice, he is resting, and that is very, very normal for them. They actually spend most of their days doing that, in fact. And only about, well, they rest most of the day, and then in the evenings when they're most active, it's actually the females that go out and hunt and provide food for the group. Whereas the males will stay behind in order to protect the pride and the cubs. Over to our left, we have another famous friend, although this one does look kind of like a furry rock.
Oh my gosh.
Look out to your right hand side, you'll notice some discoloration and a larger brownish gray lump on top of the ground. That's a warthog, not a furry rock, I promise. See? Well, they are the largest burrowing animals. They do like to back into them so that they can protect and defend from within. And my little fun fact is that they run at 45 miles or 35 miles an hour. Now you're wondering why that is such a fun fact. First and foremost, that's also how fast giraffe can run, and I just think that's funny. The second reason being, that's only 10 miles slower than the ostriches we saw today, and we think of ostriches as really fast animals, so why not warthogs particularly? Because I know I'm definitely not running 35 miles an hour, let alone one. If you look to your right hand side, you'll notice there's some ostrich eggs on the ground. They are very large, makes sense, large bird, large eggs. They're also incredibly strong. A full-grown dog human can stand on one of those without it breaking.
Did you get it?
But we are going to turn right over here and come towards the warden's post. Now the warden has some really cute friends, and I would love to introduce them to you guys. I meant the goats, not the human. These, my friends, are Nigerian dwarf goats. They are quite small, but they're fully grown. They don't really get any bigger than they are now. While they can be kept as pets, they're mostly going to be kept as dairy goats. Their milk and cheese will be sold at markets and villages here. But unfortunately, my friends, this is starting to mark the end of our time together on the reserve. If you want to help us out with some conservation efforts, I say one of the easiest things you can do is just talk about these animals. Tell your friends about them, share a cool photo, fun fact, anything like that, really. You'd be surprised just how much that can actually make all the difference in the long run. If you wanted to go check out some more animals today, I have 3 recommendations.